Born by CrimsonEquine. Flurry Heart trotted down the sidewalk. She felt ready to go through with this. Her grandfather awaited her as she walked, at a pace as best not to upset the foal. A few steps ahead was Twilight Sparkle. She could see her belly filled with life. They both had their hooves on their offspring. Twilight, being a comrade in this adventure, made Flurry Heart smile. Tradition was important to the Sparkle family. Flurry wasn't 100% with it. She remembered how her grandfather approached her when she was old enough. He caressed her stomach and mated with her bare back. There was Twilight, so content when it was her turn. "Hey there, sport, ready to greet everybody at home?" Flurry Heart looked down and frowned, but then perked up with a smile. "Yes, Auntie, I'm ready for what's to come." Twilight went to Flurry Heart and gave her a tight hug. They both walked together towards the Sparkle estate, a huge mansion that towered over them. The doors opened to find both Nightlight and Twilight Velvet waiting for them.
"Hey there, my little girls," said Nightlight. "Wow, you're almost ready to pop at this point."
They both giggled and hugged their relatives. Nightlight and Velvet felt warm from their bodies. "It's almost time," said Twilight. "I can feel my foal kicking." Twilight Velvet went and touched Flurry Heart's belly. It was a soft yet sturdy womb that had tension. "I can't wait to give birth to my foal, guys," said Flurry Heart. "I made sure to keep this a secret to Mum. I hope she understands." Nightlight sealed the metal doors with a blue aura.
"Don't worry, Flurry. Once we are done, you will be more than happier," he said. "Just think of all the blessings you will get."
The two followed their relatives to the foyer. There sat a large fireplace and a bunch of memorabilia of old Sparkles on the wall. Flurry Heart sat on a chair with an old wooden frame. Twilight lay on her side next to the fireplace. Nightlight and Velvet sipped with wine glasses and sat on other ancient chairs.
"Remember this, kiddos, once the act is done, you'll have powers beyond your imagination. Just look at Twilight already," said Nightlight. "And imagine an alicorn with such power, able to maybe even rival Celestia herself."
"Me being able to rival Celestia of all ponies?" said Flurry Heart. "That sounds way out of bounds. I just want to have my wish granted." Velvet stirred from her chair. "No worries, you'll have great luck and power after the ceremony is finished," said Twilight Velvet. "You and your foal will be put to good use." Twilight Sparkle got up and went her way to a room. She yawned as she opened its door. "Well, I'm going to sleep. Hopefully the foals won't be so active tonight." Flurry got out of her chair. "Your semen turned me into a sleeper, now more than ever." Flurry yawned and went her way. "I'm going to sleep then. Twilight started it, might as well follow suit." Nightlight scratched his crotch before Twilight Velvet gave a stare. "You horn dog! It isn't enough that you rutted your kids," she said. Nightlight drifted deeper into his chair.
"Sorry, honey."
Flurry Heart awoke to a pony that screamed. The excitement drove Flurry to run out and slam the door. Down the hallway, the screams continued as she followed it. It led to a staircase as the pictures of previous Sparkles watched from above. She went down and found Twilight. She lay with Nightlight and Twilight Velvet. "Hurry up, she's crowning," said Twilight Velvet. "It's almost sundown." Twilight gave out a scream before she made a grunt. Her face was red as she pushed out the foal and felt her inside stretched.
"There's my kid,"
said Nightlight as he lifted the foal. It cried as it was born. Flurry Heart watched this from the darkness.
"Now it's time, Twilight. You are going to go so much farther for this," said Nightlight.
"Anything for you, Daddy," she said weakly. "I'd do anything for you." Nightlight raised the foal and stabbed it with a curved blade. Twilight smiled as the foal bled through its stomach. Spurts of blood shot over her once mother. She bathed in its juices and laughed at a short to high pitch. Twilight Velvet licked the blood off her daughter. They then kissed as their faces smothered in blood.
We give this offering to the great God. Bless us with a bounty,
Nightlight said as the blood shot out. Flurry Heart made a screech before she closed her mouth. The family had eyes that were transformed into white pearls. What is this? Flurry Heart backed up with tremor in her legs. What are you doing? Nightlight licked the wound before he noticed her.
You're the next one, baby girl. Don't you want that wish to be granted?
He walked towards her.
We can make as many foals as we want together. Don't you think?
Flurry Heart stepped 2 paces back before she made a full run back up. She sealed the basement door behind her and ran along as the pictures of Sparkles watched them.
Come back,
said Nightlight. He blew up the door and clambered over the steps.
We just need an offering of love, my dear.
The chase finalized as Flurry stepped back against the door. The wall felt frozen against her body. Nightlight drove his blade towards her belly. She leaped out of the way and blasted Nightlight with a concentrated beam of pink energy. It twisted his neck and caused him to collapse. The blade slid to a stop near her. Flurry Heart looked and found a blast of liquid flow out. A scream came out of her. The Nightlight she hurt crawled in her direction, a shambled monster ready to finish what he started.
Isn't this what you wanted, baby girl?
Said Nightlight. Yes, join us, Flurry. You can have whatever you want, said Twilight Velvet from the side. No, this isn't what I wanted. You all lied to me. They ran after her, and an aura of energy formed around her. Flurry Heart disappeared in an eruption of pink energy. The woods were silent and cold. Flurry Heart felt hard contractions in her stomach. She had but to lay down, to push with all her might. All alone was a nightmare in itself. The foal went out of Flurry Heart. She grabbed its body. I won't let them hurt you, she said. She held it tight against herself. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider joining my Patreon, patreon.com/TMFF, to get early access to audiobooks and to be able to request I do a reading of what you want, provided the author approves. Thank you to Artlist.io for providing the massive music and sound effect library that I have to work with. And most of all, thank you to the bronies who write the amazing stories that inspire me to make these. Fluttershy and Izzy are best ponies. I now have a Discord server where you can join in and chat with other fanfiction fans. If you enjoy what I do, you can donate to me on Ko-Fi, links in the description.